Watchman here, Yahudah Israel, about to go live with y'all, trying to figure it out, see what happens here. Okay, let's see, are we live? Is the question. Yeah, I think we are. Yep, I think we live. Hold on, y'all. Hey, hey. Okay, and you called me on Facebook Live. We on Facebook Live, but I'll get it right over to you. I'm finna teach right now. All right. Okay, y'all. Just thinking about y'all. So, got all kind of stuff I'm doing, man. I'm so busy, but I love the word, love the people, y'all. So here we are again. Still trying to put things in its perspective, especially based on like the majority of stuff I teach carries a certain amount of shock value. And, I'm feeling like Nehemiah, like trying to restore some stuff. It kind of like be shocked when you feel that you knew something and didn't know it quite. I'm not saying that people don't know the Most High. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is there's some adjustments need to be made, and those that really belong to Him are willing to make those adjustments. Like again, Nehemiah, Ezra, and them rebuilding the wall, rebuilding the breach. It was a shock value. The things that they thought they knew, they didn't know. It was a lot of restoration, and there was a lot of lies being told. And we have to study to show ourselves approved. So I go and teach topics as revelation come. And I'm always approachable, though. I'm going to tell you that I'm always approachable. Because all I want is the truth. And the only thing I can preach and teach is what I know to be true. And so with that being said, let's get ready to dive into the Word. What's on my heart now is the flesh profits nothing. And I teach this type stuff anyway. I've been talking about how the flesh profits nothing, and I just want to prove it, right? So, real quick, because I really don't have a whole lot of time, but like the foundation of Scripture, let's go to John 6:63. Y'all got a pen, write it down, whatever, right? But check this out. Look what it says. We having lunch, right? Man does not live by bread alone, by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah, right? Spiritual food. John 6:63, look what it says. It says, "It is the spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profits nothing. The words that I speak unto you are spirit and life." That's not even like hypothetically speaking. This flesh just do not win when we dealing with the Creator. And, because of the user-friendliness of the things being taught, we kind of can include our flesh, and it just don't work. And Romans the 8th chapter say the flesh is enmity against Yah. It's not subject to the law of Yah, neither indeed can be. You can't bring this joker along for the ride. That's why he had to die. That's why we were baptized into Yeshua's death, because of this flesh, this carnal nature. It just can't come. That's why Yeshua said, if any man come after me, let him deny himself. It takes self-denial. He that suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. Your flesh is going to be suffering, screaming, crying, and kicking this whole ride. If you're going to live a lick of anything, if you're going to be obedient to Yah, it just can't come along. And so, like the religious people, Yah's chosen people, because that's who they was. But Yah's chosen people, when Yeshua came, they weren't trying to hear that. because it was religion, and religion includes flesh. the accomplishments of flesh and the, sin, the sins of flesh get to ride the ticket, but no, not in this one, right? So it is the spirit that quickeneth. And Yeshua said, the words that I speak unto you are spirit and life. Ephesians 4 said they number one spirit. And Yah is a spirit. And they that worship him must worship in spirit and in truth. And that's in John 44 and 24, right? So let's bury this flesh. Let's go to Romans, the 7th chapter. Look at this. I'm going to try to be kind of quick. I apologize because I really do got to go, but I just want to get it in, right? But look at this. John 7. Follow along. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law has dominion over a man as long as he liveth. For the woman which has a husband is bound by the law to her husband as long as he live. But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband. The only way a woman can get away from the law that she's bound by to her husband is if he dead. Period. Other than that, it's on and popping, right? If so, then while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from the law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. So the only way that she can move on with her life and be married to someone else is if her husband is dead, right? Wherefore, my brother, you also become dead to the law by the body of the Messiah. We become dead to the law by Yeshua. So people still want to hold on to the law. I apologize, Hebrew brothers and sisters. The law actually came because Abraham's seed wasn't living by faith. They were sinful. They was rolling with Abraham according to the flesh because they were Hebrews from the other side, right? They was Hebrew Jews, and they thought because they were kinfolk to Abraham and Moses and them that it was all good. And it's all bad when you don't live by faith. And faith without works is dead. If you don't obey the word like Abraham did and believe Yah, then the law is for you. Because the law was made because of transgressions, the word said. And it was the Hebrews' transgression. The world was already sinners, right? His chosen people who he had expectation for being Abraham's seed, let him down. So 430 years later, he sent the law to condemn them, to show them that it was out of line. It didn't come to save you, and Hebrews is running around here pretty excited about the law. Only thing it's do is going to condemn you. Wearing tassels and not shaving your beard and all these other stuff without me getting into all the details. No, check this out. Look what the word says, though. Study to show yourself approved, right? Look what it says. Wherefore, my brethren, you also become dead to the law. Catch that. By the Messiah, that you should be married to another, even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit on the Yah. So then people be afraid that if you get away from the law, then you're going to live in lawlessness. Well, this said, no, you got to divorce from the law because it wasn't doing nothing but proving you was a sinner. And that's all it came for, to prove you that you needed a Savior. Well, Tada, the Savior, is here, right? Yeshua is on the scene, right? So you can be married to him. Get away from the law. Be dead to the law. You can't be married to the Messiah and you're married to the law. This is what it's saying. That's why they used the parallel, a woman being married to her husband. And she's not loose from her husband unless her husband be dead. Right? So, wherefore, my brother, also become dead to the law by the body of the Messiah, that you should be married, y'all catch that, to another, even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit on the Yah. Now you got to worry about people living in lawlessness because now you're bringing fruit. Fruit is a lifestyle. Fruit is actions. You shall know every tree by the fruit it bear. The tree is people and the fruit is what it do. You shall know every tree by the fruit. We're bringing fruit on the Yah, meaning we're obeying him. We're walking by the spirit of love. We're walking in the spirit of love. We're walking in the spirit of truth. We preach and teach truth. Not our opinion, none of that. Without the law. We got relationship. Adam and Eve didn't have no law. And they went against him, got kicked out the garden. He dealt with them even when there was no law. There were still consequences. You don't get away because it ain't no law. In fact, it's worse for you have a relationship because you're a betrayer. knowing what all he did to free you from sin, and you want to go back into it, that's a whole nother lesson though, right? But that we should bring forth fruit on the Yah. For when we were in the flesh, you notice how it says past tense? Because now we have the Messiah now. We shouldn't be living in the flesh. We shouldn't live after the flesh, right? For when we worked in the flesh, the motions of sin, which were by the law, did work in our members to bring forth fruit unto death. Everybody trying to rock with the law is walking dead folk, according to the word. I know this is hard on you, Hebrews, right now, but just read the word. Let truth be truth. You like pointing the finger at church folk and all that. You might want to check yourself. You might want to read the word again. Come to your senses. For when we were, past tense, right? For when we were in the flesh, the motions of sin, which were by the law, did work in our members to bring fruit unto death. But now we are delivered from the law. Did y'all catch that? From the law, being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve in the newness of spirit and not in the oldness of the letter. And the oldness of the letter is the 10 Commandments. I'm just being honest. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? Yah forbid. The law came out of his mouth. Ain't nothing wrong with the law. The problem is us. Again, back to Romans 8. For what the law could not do in that it was weak through the flesh, our sinful flesh, it could not deliver us blameless. In fact, it called us guilty. It called us guilty and it caught us guilty. It proved we were guilty. So what we need to do is get away from what's proving we're guilty. Because if we're proven guilty, we're going to be judged. What we need to do is grab Yeshua quickly and get into a relationship. Because once you get into a relationship, you're not going to go against him. He'll baptize his Ruach HaKodesh in you, his spirit, and lead and guide you. And now you'll be able to bring forth fruit, a lifestyle on the Yah, free of cussing and calling people devils and, running around here reaping havoc. I know you were provoked on to jealousy, according to Romans 11 chapter, and you kind of acting jealous because the oracles was given to you. You just found out. You was raised thinking you was a Gentile. You just found out that you're not a Gentile. You're familiar with Constantine, the Council of Nicaea 325 AD. Familiar with all that, what happened in 70 AD, how you ended up in mid-Africa. You know about the Middle East was called the Middle East during World War II, and it's really Africa. You understand? You understand that Yeshua was black and all that. Now you're a little jealous, so now you want to take revenge. No, the wrath don't belong to you. No, you going against people that love Yah. You going against people that's doing what the Hebrews failed to do. The Hebrews failed to be like their daddy Abraham and operate in faith. They the one forced Yah to give Moses the law because they was living lawless. Timothy 1 says the law is for the sinner, for the ungodly. That's what it came for. Because, so let's really do what Abraham did. He was blessing his seed because what he did. What did he do? He believed. Faith. He trusted. He obeyed. Before the law even ever came on the scene. Right? The promise came 430 years before the law ever came on the scene. Let's get it right, y'all. Right? Wherefore, brethren, ye is also become dead to the law by the body of the Messiah, that you should be married to another, even to him who was raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit, a lifestyle on the Yah, right? For when we were in the flesh, the motions of sin, which were by the law, did work in our members, bring forth fruit unto death. Don't brag about the law. But now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve in the newness of spirit, not in the oldness of the letter. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? Nope. Yah forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. For I had not known lust except the law had said, thou shalt not covet. We was running around here lawless. We didn't know right from wrong. Got kicked out the garden. Now we roaming. Now we just living by our five senses. No. The law came to show you that you come up short. That all have sinned and come short. That's what the law did, proved it. Right? What shall we say then? Is law sin? Yah forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. For I had not known lust. Isn't that one of the commandments? Thou shalt not covet. I had none on lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet. But sin taking occasion by the commandments. So here come the 10 commandments. And then sin came up, it was exposed. Sin taking occasion by the commandment wrought in me all manner of concupiscence. All kind of sins is what concupiscence mean, right? For without the law, sin was dead. Because where there's no law, there's no transgression. As scandalous as I was, there was no measuring stick, no proof. Law came to expose it, not to save you, to expose your sin, to prove you were scandalous, to prove you were living by faith. You wasn't like your daddy Abraham. No, you was not. That's why them Jews were telling Yeshua, we got Abraham, our father. He said, man, if you was of Abraham, you do the works of Abraham. You tripping. Abraham saw my day and was glad. Whoa, they wanted to kill him. Because they was fleshly, right? And the commandment which ordained unto life, I found to be unto death. Okay, so the word that came out of Yah's mouth, the 10 commandments, gives life if you can keep it. But because what the law could not do, in that it was weak through our flesh, we couldn't keep it. Pronounced dead. Oh my goodness, do we have a problem. 11th verse. For sin taken the occasion by the commandment. Whoa! Peeked his ugly head up. Deceived me and by it slew me. Wherefore the law is Yahweh. 12th verse, y'all. The law is right. And the commandment Yahweh. Just and good. Ain't nothing wrong with the law. I ain't hating on the law. That came out of Yah's mouth. Will not return unto him void either. Oh, he got it done. He got it accomplished, but you got to know how to rightly divide the word of truth to understand how. 13th verse. Was then that which is good made death unto me? The answer is still no. He brought us still life. We got life out the deal, but you got to understand how. But sin, that's what he was doing, exposing sin. But sin, that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good. That sin by the commandment might become exceedingly sinful, butt naked. Your lifestyle is butt naked. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You can't even pretend to be good. The word is like a two-edged sword. It's a discerner of the thoughts and even the intents of the heart. You can't run from the word. The word is cold. It'll find you. Even when you're doing good deeds, everybody else clapping, yeah, I know you still scandalous. Yeah, I know if you ain't living right and doing right, doing stuff to be seen, really want some likes on Facebook, tell the truth. Shame the devil. Get your heart right. Through the Ruach HaKodesh you can. With his spirit living in you, you can be perfected. But we got to get away from religion. Got to get away from the law. Flesh profits nothing in this race. Well, look what he say. Was then that which is good made death unto me? Yah forbid. But sin, that it might appear sin, worketh death in me by that which is good, that sin might become exceedingly sinful. It's exposed, right? Now, I can really get into 14 on down. I'm wondering, maybe I'll come back. But let's go somewhere else, right? Real quick. I just want to show you the flesh profits nothing, right? Look at this. Let's go to Galatians 5. I'm going to show you this. Look at this. Hold on, y'all. Phone call. Hey, I'm teaching. No, but I'll do with it. All right, thanks. Bye. All right. 5:16. Look what it says. Galatians 5:16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, walk in the Ruach, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Now, see, dealing with everything, because the word deals with the Jew and the Gentile. You know what I mean? It sets everything in order. You never take sides, Jew, Gentile, church, Hebrew, Israelite. Come on, man. It's all about the word. Methodist, Presbyterian, I don't care what, all that, miss me with all that. All them denominations, all that division, dividing of the people. Yah came and made even the Jew and the Gentile one people. So then you got the Christians running around talking about the Hebrews, and you got the Hebrews running around talking about the Christians. Check this out. Let the word come see by both of y'all, by all of us. We ain't number one people. Get it right. Yeah, he has some chosen people without question. Romans 11 chapter say he's even turning back to him when the fullness of the Gentile time has come. I know all that. And it's true. I ain't shying away from it at all. Not even 144,000 finna bring it. I get all that. But it's all only by one way. And that's through faith. And that's what the Hebrew failed to do. That's why they end up in slavery. and Babylonian captivity and Assyrian captivity and Egyptian captivity and Greek captivity and now in American captivity is because they wasn't operating by faith. And then they was provoked to jealousy according to Romans 11 chapter, and that's why they run around here cussing, acting up. But they still need to wake their spiritual game up and bow down to Yeshua and start walking in love and doing what he called to do and understanding we are one people. He made a promise to Abraham and he's going to keep it. And he's turning back to Israel right now for them to wake up, get them scales off their eye, get the scales off their eyes and do what they're called to do. That's all plain and dandy and it's completely true. But part of that is you stop hating. And then it also talked to the Gentile. Don't you hate on my original people? Read Romans 11 chapter. He makes it perfectly plain because you was grafted in. And just because you thought the Hebrew was the Gentile, you just found out something if you're studying and if your heart is pure and you're honest. But the word is setting it all straight, right? But here we go. This I say then, walk in the spirit and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the spirit. Y'all heard that? Our evil nature lusts against the spirit and the spirit against the flesh. These are contrary to one to the other. So you cannot do the things that you would. You can't do what you want to do. You can't live in sin talking about you a sinner saved by grace. You doing what you want to do. You got to obey truth. You got to obey the word. It's this self-denial. If any man come after me, let him deny himself, the word said. That's the only way you can get this done. Is to walk in self-denial. Some people are choosing to save their life. And the word said he that seeks to save his life is going to lose it. We know who's going to lose their life. And you shall know every tree by the fruit it bear. Whoever disobeys his word and do whatever the heck you want to do in spite of what he say. Make up your own theology in your head. Make up the personality and the rules for the creator. Because you got a lot of people that do that. They make up the rules in their own head of what y'all like and dislike as opposed to going to the word to see. Studying to show themselves approved. No, they're not going to do that because they're walking after the flesh. And they're trying to serve Yah through the flesh. And flesh does stuff like that. Flesh like to have its cake and eat it too. But you can't do that, right? So look, the flesh lusts against the spirit against the flesh. These are contrary to one to the other. So you cannot do the things that you would. But if you're led of the Ruach, if you're led of his spirit, you're not under the law. Why do people say, you go to church, right? They be talking about you're not under the law. You are if you sin it. If you live in sin and do what you want to do, the law was made. Remember, the law came because of transgressions. That's why the law came. The Hebrews are still trying to hold on to the law. Well, they're in for a rude awakening. But the law is for any sinner. Anyone that's holding on to sin. Anyone. In the church or the Hebrew. It says to the Hebrew, to the Jew first. And also to the Greek. Don't get it twisted. It's hitting everybody. But if you're led of the Spirit, the words not speak only your spirit and life. Ain't number one spirit. And the spirit is Yahweh, the Yahweh spirit. Ruach HaKodesh. They call it the Holy Spirit, right? But it ain't no getting away from it. Ain't number one body. Come on. But if you're led of the Spirit, you're not under the law. Quit saying you're not under the law, Christian. If you're sinning, quit saying you're a sinner saved by grace and then go turn around and say you're under the law. You're confused. I understand why you're confused. You was raised being taught that. And I'm not trying to be a hater. Can I explain something real quick? We're going to get through this real fast because I got to go. You heard the phone call. I got to go. But listen to this. When you're restoring, and there's a lot of stuff wrong that you're not aware of, but Yah reveals it to his people, to whoever he's going to have bring it. He brought it to me, and I'm bringing it to you, like it or not. I ain't got the suit on, the big cathedral. If he give it to me, I'm giving it to you, according to the word, though, because I be proving what I say, period. And if it's wrong, I'm going to change, quick. But so far, it's been right, and I'm proving it. So we got to do what the words say do, whether we like it or not. I'm not bashing. If truth come, it's just the truth. What, I shouldn't say the truth because everyone, the wide road, believes something wrong? The word already said wide is the road to lead to destruction. You didn't believe that? Well, it's being proven. When truth come, it exposes. Did you know Yeshua came onto his own? Yah's true people, came unto his own and his own received him not. You thought you was just reading that and able to point at them? Well, lo and behold, you might need to look in the mirror because it could be talking directly to you and your ministry. It's just the truth. Maybe it isn't talking to you in your ministry, but maybe it is. And the only way you're going to know is if you're honest and if you study. If you're not religious like you like to read in the word, you like to read about the Pharisees and the Sadducees and how carnal they were and fleshly they were and they wouldn't follow Jesus and all that type of stuff. You like to talk about them. Wonder if that's you and your ministry and how you get out and how you reject truth for your church and how you don't want to hear it and how you hearing about the Hebrews, which scripturally are the Hebrews. Yeah. And they act just like the Hebrews that was in the word. Thought that they was the only ones that could be saved. And that's why this lesson is even going forth to reprove them. But it's reproving you too. Because you're under false doctrine. You believe once saved, always saved. You don't believe that if you're led of the Spirit, you're not under the law. You think you're just not under the law because you said with your mouth the Lord Jesus. You think that was good enough. But this says you have to live the life. You have to be obedient to the word. Yah has to be in control of your life for you to not to be under the law. Because the law came for transgressions. The law came for sinners. It's married to you. Folks running around here talking about sinners saved by grace. If the law is made for a sinner, and the word said if you're under the law, then you've fallen from unmerited favor, what they call grace. If you're a sinner, you're under the law. And if you're under the law, you have fallen from what they call grace. How in the world could you be a sinner saved by grace then? You can't be. It's impossible. It's an oxymoron. Start living right. Then you're not under the law. Start being led by his Spirit. In other words, being led by his Spirit means I'm going to obey what he say. But if you're led of the Spirit, you're not under the law. Now he's going to give you a clue to see if you're under the law or not. Transgressions, right? Well, he's about to list the transgressions. Because the law came because of what? Transgressions, right? Because of sin. Well, let's see. Let's see if you're under the law even though you're in church. Let's see. Now, the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these? Adultery. If you're adultery, you're under the law. Fornication, running around laid up with whoever you want to lay up with and you're not married to them. Uncleanness, spiritually unclean. Lasciviousness, diverse sins. Idolatry, what you like your zodiac? You get your palm read. Idolatry, right? Witchcraft. Stubbornness. Read 1 Samuel 15 when he was getting on Saul. Stubborn, truth come, and you grit your teeth against truth because you like your religion, you like your church, you like being a Hebrew to the point that you're not gonna walk in faith. You like cussing folks out and being rebellious, right? Witchcraft, hatred. Folks run around here hating. You can see the hate sometimes when they preaching against white people, huh? Hate them. Hatred. Or white people. Racism in the church. The Klan was Christians. Hatred, right? Want to hang her. Get that coon, Hatred. With a Bible in their hand. Is that crazy? You're under the law. Variance, illumination, wrath, strife, sedition, hearsays, envy, and murder, drunkenness, revelry, and the such like of the which things I told you before, as I told you in time past, they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yah. You ain't going to inherit the kingdom of Yah living like that because you're under the law. And when you're under the law, you're fallen from unmerited favor. The Spirit is not working for you because you're not led by it anyway. But the fruit, one fruit, is not fruits. This is all in the blender. This is all what it is. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance, and against such there is no law. There ain't no law against love, because that's all it is. You put the fruits of the Spirit in the blender, blend it up, drink it, love. And Yah is love. You're walking in love. Forget this religious stuff. The flesh profits nothing. I'm trying to show y'all the flesh profits nothing. And look at how cold this is. Get this revelation. Look at this. Look at the word. Look what it says. Look at the assumption. Because it kills everything we see going on almost. I'm talking about all in church with the brothers going around saying they the only ones cussing everybody out and got this crazy chart that's completely wrong for so many different reasons without me getting into that, right? But look at this. Look at this. Get this revelation. Look. After it says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance, and against such there is no law, right? And they that are the Messiahs, if you belong to the Messiah, you belong to Yeshua, look what it says. And they that are the Messiahs have, the King James Version says, crucified the flesh with the affections and the lusts. Have already did it. When you repented, when the word came, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Turn around. You're supposed to be new. You don't do that no more. And they that belong to the Messiah, and they that are the Messiahs have, King James right here, crucified the flesh. You already denounce your sinful nature. You already denounce your evil practices with the affections and the lusts. Then he went on to say, if we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. If your life is in him, we live, move, and have our being, then walk in it. Walk obedient to what Yah tell you to do. Is y'all getting this? I hope you are, because I wasn't going to be here long this particular time, right? Okay, let me show y'all this, and then I'm going to get ready to get out of here, right? Look what this say. Galatians 3:16. Let's start right there. Let's go for it. Look what it say. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made, right? Abraham and his seed. You notice that it says seed, not seeds, because the whole thing's about Yeshua. From the Old Testament to the New, it was always talking about Yeshua. The tabernacle, excuse me, the temples being built, it all was a shadow of the Messiah coming. And that's another thing that will help you understand the word. This is all talking about the Messiah coming, Yah becoming human being to rescue us, and in him we live, move, and have our being. That's really what it's all about. But watch this. So when it's talking to Abraham and his seed, yeah, it ended up being through his bloodline, right? But it really was talking about the one seed, though, to get to that one seed. It wasn't talking about David, it wasn't talking about Solomon, even though Solomon built the physical house, but it really was talking about the building of the spiritual house that was not made by hands. So when Solomon ended up building the physical house, he named it, it was called by Yah's name. Because when Yah took on the body was called by Yah's name. And that's why Yeshua said, I come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. But if another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. The world's been deceived. Because that's not his name that folks be kicking. But that's a whole nother study. Right? But at the end of the day, the ecclesia, the body, what they call the church, had already been born with a name. And the foreshadow of it, the physical temple that was made with cedar trees, was called by his name as well. And so the one seed, the body, the seed already got a name. That's why it says, if my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, forgive their sins and heal their land. Because the body already got a name and we were baptized into that body. So we took on that name. That's why in Colossians 3:17 it said, whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of Yeshua, giving thanks to Yah the Father by him. Come in my Father's name, you receive me not. If another should come in his own name, you're going to rock with him. And you're going to be going against me and don't even know it. You're going to be doing pagan rituals. You're going to Christmas it up, huh? Easter egg. Woo! Haunted house at the church. You're going to be running around here cussing people out, calling white people the devil, thinking you're the only ones that can be saved, missing the whole principle of salvation. The problem from the beginning was disobedience. That's why Adam and Eve was pronounced dead and kicked out of the garden. Disobedience. Ain't about no doggone ritual. But here, all these rituals, folks think they say, oh, folks think it's by the law. Man, the law came to prove you was guilty. You were a bandit. You was a hustler. Yeah, you a thug. And the law proved it too, didn't it? So stop thugging then. Stop mugging, mean mugging, and illegal hugging. Look at this. Now Abraham and his seed were the promises made. Yeshua is the one seed. Get it? He said not as to seeds many, not even to the whole children of Israel. even though they were the beneficiaries according to the flesh. But they didn't rock like they daddy. That's why the law came, to prove it. You scandalous, Israel. I'm going to get you too. Go, Assyrians, go get them. I'm going to give you to the Romans. I'm going to let them lie on you. I'm going to let them encage you. Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to let them dog you out. You was the head. Now you the tail, because you didn't listen. You wouldn't listen. You was hard-headed. You thought you would inherit. Just like when he came, you thought they inherited it. Oh, Abraham be our father. He said, man, get out of here with that, man. You don't even do the works of Abraham, nor Moses. What are you talking about? Get out of here. Repent, right? And this I say, the covenant that was confirmed of Yah. Wait, this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before of Yah in the Messiah, the law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul that it should make the promise of none effect. He gave him promise because he believed him. The law came 430 years later. Why are people trying to live by the law? And it's a carnal commandment. The flesh profits nothing. That's carnal. You want to serve him on Sunday only? You better serve him every day. You better get the Messiah. He's the rest. He said, come unto me, all you that labor. Meaning you trying to do it your way? Live your life your way? Come unto me, all you that labor and the heavy laden, because it's heavy, baby, living this life without him. And I'll give you rest. Because he's the real rest. He's the word. Rest in the word. Rest your neck from how you used to live and rest in the truth of the word, being led by the Ruach HaKodesh. If you led of the Spirit, you will not fulfill the lusts of the flesh. Huh. I say then the covenant, which was confirmed before of Yah, it was confirmed in the Messiah. The law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul that it should make the promise of none effect. We rocking with a promise, y'all. For if the inheritance be of the law, then there's no more promise. But Yah gave it to Abraham by promise. And the cold part about the promise is Yeshua's coming to rescue us. That's the real promise. And he gonna live it for us. And then we're gonna be baptized into his death. And then he gonna lead us to the finish line. Because if the spirit that was in Yeshua be in us, like it raised him up from the dead, it's gonna quicken our mortal bodies and make us alive. And we're gonna become new creatures. And we're gonna stop cussing folks out and sleep with everybody, getting drunk, holding grudges, and acting a fool. Put your pistol down, playboy. For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more promise. But Yah gave it to Abraham by promise. Wherefore then serves the law. You want to serve the law? You want to wear tassels and stuff? You want to get the wardrobe? You better get the wardrobe on your life, on your lifestyle. Because all that fleshly stuff was just symbolic to lead you to having a relationship with your Creator. Don't you want a relationship? Folks love this religion. Are you mad at me? Because yesterday I taught on communion, put the little cracker down and the little cup of drink. You think that if you eat a little cracker unworthily and drink a little cup that you're guilty of killing Yah if you do it unworthy? You believe that? Or could you believe that if you go against his word, you're guilty? Because he died to set you free, and you refuse to be free. You counted the blood of the covenant unworthy, unyali, and you did the spite onto the spirit of unmerited favor and went and started sinning again. Even though they told you you're a sinner saved by grace. Now, can you see how satanic that teaching is? People want to know why I sound like I'm bashing the church. I know they do. Some people come to me, but I know that's the consensus. That's why people really come against me. It really ain't so much that I'm proving through the word that Yeshua was black. That's not really the issue. The issue to these preachers is I'm killing sin, and their whole doctrine is built on sinners saved by grace. 99% of the church world is built on sinners saved by grace. It ain't even all the way Calvinism, because that's a crazy doctrine. It's one of the dumbest doctrines I've ever heard in my life. But once saved, always saved is pretty idiotic within itself too. All the scriptures to go against it. Y'all got me killing that false doctrine, right? Y'all got me killing that false doctrine, and it's rubbing people the wrong way. The flesh profits nothing. You cannot do what you want to do and live for Yah. You can't serve two masters. Period.com. He to seek to save his life, he promised you're going to lose it. Be not deceived. Y'all's not mocked. Whatsoever man soweth, that's what he going to reap. You sow to the flesh, of the flesh, you're going to die. But if you sow to the Spirit, you shall the Spirit reap life everlasting. Let's keep it 100 here, right? I'm in one of the moods right now, right? Wherefore servest the law? Why you want to serve the law? And all it's going to do is prove you scandalous. Why you want to do that? My brother asked me, Q Him the Redeemer asked me about the dietary laws. I said, man, all the law was satisfied in the Messiah. They like to just talk about the ceremonial law. It's all of them. Read 2 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter. It will prove it verbatim. I might do it before I get out of here, but I'm running out of time. It will prove it verbatim. I'm not talking about just the ceremonial law. I'm talking about all of it. So what about the dietary law? He said that you're the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh. And if you defile the temple, he'll destroy you. I'm going to tell you this. We're not mandated for salvation purposes what not to eat and what to eat and all that like they was up under the law. But you better take care of your temple. Because if you defile your temple, he'll destroy you. Sit up there and eat a bunch of Snicker bars if you want to. Sit up there and eat a bunch of McDonald's and Coke. Now, if that's all you got, he got you. That's why all this old law stuff. No, we going by circumstances and keeping it 100 with Yah. Eating grasshoppers and wild honey, like John did. You gonna eat what you got. If that's all you got is a pig, then oink oink. But me personally, I ain't touching it. I'm not touching that crap. It's nasty and it's not good for you. Period. There's a bunch of things that's just not good. Bunch of sugar, and folks say they save and defiling the heck out their temple. Gluttony, eating too much. If you want to talk about dietary law, it's in the Spirit. It's in the New Testament. It's in the Word. Yeah. Eat right. Exercise. Take care of your temple. Do the best you can with what y'all blessed you with. Don't be a hater. Don't hate on yourself. Wherefore servest the law? Why you want to serve the law? It was added because of transgression. I've been saying that this whole lesson. The only reason why the law came is to prove the people of Yah was going against Yah. Claiming Abraham the whole time. Moses, come here. Write this down because it sure ain't in these jokers. They're not like their daddy. Write this on stone and slap it at them. Give them this. They trip. Hurry down the hill. They down there serving Molech. Jokers. Wherefore serve? Why you want to serve the law? It was added because of transgressions. Till the seed should come to whom the promise was made. The seed was Yeshua, y'all. The flesh profits nothing. The seed was Yeshua coming to deliver us from all this madness. The law came 430 years after the promise. Till the seed should come to whom the promise was made. It was ordained by angels in the hand of a mediator. Now the mediator is not a mediator of one, but Yah is one. The Yah man, right? 100% Yah, 100% man, representing both parties. Remember, Yah was manifested in the flesh. And without controversy, great is the mystery of Yahweh. Yah was manifested in the flesh. First Timothy 3:16. Or just let's rock it with John. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with Yah. The Word was Yah. Meaning Yah is His Word. 14 verse. And the Word was made flesh. Yah was made flesh, y'all. As He dwelt among us, as we beheld His majesty, as of the only begotten of the Father. That's Yeshua, isn't it? Full of unmerited favor and truth. If y'all getting this, why you want to serve the law? Right? It's no reason to. Now, a mediator is one mediator of one. Now, a mediator is not a mediator of one, but Yah is one. Quit calling him three. He one. I'm rolling with him. I'm smashing all false doctrine, whether you like it or not. And whatever your church teach, that's completely up to you if you're going to believe the word of them. But Yah is one. Is the law then against the promises of Yah? Yah forbid. For if there had been a law given which have given life, verily righteousness should have been by the law. If we wasn't so scandalous, the law would have worked. It came out of Yah's mouth. What he said wasn't wrong. We wrong. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, our flesh. Yah sending His Son in the likeness of sinful flesh and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. Quit messing with your flesh. You can walk in the Spirit. Because if you walk in the Spirit, you're not under the law. The law ain't even talking to you because you're righteous now. You do what the Father say do. When you don't do what the Father say do, then the law was made for you. The law was not made for a righteous man, 1 Timothy 1 says, right? But for the ungodly, for the lawless, and for the sinner. Ain't no sinner saved by grace. It's an oxymoron. No such thing. Is the law then against the promises of Yah? Yah forbid. For if there had been a law given that could have given life, verily right should have been by the law. But the scripture concluded all under sin. We were born in sin and shaped in iniquity. Remember? That the promises of faith of Yeshua might be given to them that believe. Now we got the Messiah here. We believe in him. What is he? He's the word made flesh. Where's the flesh? It rose again. What's left? The spirit. John 14, he said, I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. Ain't number one spirit. Remember? And that's the living word. The words that I speak unto you are spirit and life. Will lead and guide you. What he tell you to do, if you decode all this, be obedient and you got it on wrap. All these mysteries is being unfolded even in this message through these scriptures will just automatically be working in you if you wasn't so hard-headed. If you stop going after your flesh trying to be churchy, having a form of godliness but denying the power. You're going to go to church and dance up a storm. Then you go kill the club too. Oh! Crazy, man. You've been called out of that. Cut it out. Make up your mind. Don't be schizophrenic. Romans the 7th chapter, he kind of was schizophrenic. At the end of the chapter, it sounded like Saul, right? He said, so with the mind I serve Yah, but with this flesh I serve the law of sin and death. But it didn't stop right there. It went on to Romans 8:1, said, there's therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yeshua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. You don't walk after the flesh no more. Even though it's talking, your evil nature is going to be getting at you. That's why Saul said in Romans 7, when I would do good, evil is present. Your evil nature is always talking. That's why it says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation. I'm not listening to me. It's not a sin to have evil thoughts. You're going to have evil thoughts until you check up out of here. What you need to do is check those evil thoughts. Because greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. You got the spirit of Yah living inside of you. You better quit playing. 22. I'm almost done, y'all, because I really got to go. I got about 10 more minutes, less. Really, I'm pushing it, right? But okay. But the scripture conclude that all under sin, that the promise by the faith of Yeshua might be given to them that believe, right? For Yah so loved the world that gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. But before faith came, we was kept under the law. We'd have made Yah put it on stone because it wasn't in us, and then we were shut up under there, and everybody was guilty. Shut up unto faith. Shut up unto the faith which should afterwards be revealed. It's on the scene now, y'all. Yeshua came and put it down. Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster. It was a teacher, baby, on how we should be living, but we couldn't do it because we were carnal, right? Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us on to the Messiah. Give him the hand. He's on the scene. That we might be justified by faith, because faith without works is dead. Another way of saying the word came and I applied action to it. Faith without works is dead. Listening to his word said, oh, I have faith in that. If you ain't doing it, your faith is dead. And can dead faith save you? Ask James in the 2nd chapter. It'll tell you, nope. But after faith has come, we're no longer under a schoolmaster. You don't need the law talking to you because you led by the Spirit. You have a relationship with him. The law came for transgressors. You're not a transgressor no more, right? Or are you? Because if you're still a transgressor, then you're still under the law. If you're still under the law, you have fallen from what they call grace. Look at this. But after faith has come, you are no longer a schoolmaster. For you are the children of Yah by faith in Yeshua. We're the children of Yah by faith in the word. Yeshua was the word made flesh, remember? Flesh gone. Only thing left is the word. For many as have been baptized into Yeshua have put on Yeshua. If you baptize into the Messiah, then you put him on. There's neither... Y'all got to get this. There is neither Jew nor Greek. it doesn't matter. You can be saved. This does not nullify the original people. It's putting things in its proper perspective. Because if you read Romans, the 3rd chapter, and do it, it said, what profit is being a Jew? It said, much in every way. One of them is named because the oracles came to them. All this happened through Abraham's seed. And he's turning back to it as soon as you study Romans, the 11th chapter. But everybody can be saved. You can't set trip off of, race. In fact, a Gentile can put it down harder than the Jew if he go for it in the spirit. There's neither Jew nor Greek, neither bond nor free. There's neither male nor female. People want to know, can women be preachers? Can a frog hop? What do it got to do with gender? The flesh profits nothing. He told Timothy, don't let nobody hate on you because of your age. What your age got to do with? Not by power, nor by might, but by my ruach, by my spirit, says Yah. This ain't no fleshly thing. What about all them scriptures about women being silent? And it said, ask your husbands at home. It's talking about married women. A woman cannot exert authority over her husband. You saw what happened in the garden? He put it down on them in the garden. He put everything in order. And the woman is subject to her husband. Straight up. She was the one that was deceived. Not Adam. Adam was just, his wife had to be fine because he went out backwards, didn't he? He went out kind of, man, you weenie. He went out like a weenie, didn't he? Messed up everything. He should have just checked his wife. But she was deceived. He wasn't. He just went out like a zero. Should have been a hero. There is neither male nor female. Y'all can't talk through a woman. Corinthians 11 chapter say a woman can prophesy in the ministry just having her head covered. And that's talking about just putting things in order. That Yah is the head of the Messiah is the head of the man, and the man is the head of the wife. Putting things in this order. Women, Deborah and all them put it down. Priscilla and Aquila, man, they was running revival for real. Because it has nothing to do with the flesh. Rich, poor, Jew, free, bond, crippled, blind, ex-crazy, used to be crazy. The Ruach HaKodesh can use whoever he wants. He used a jawbone of an ass. So he definitely can use me. Not to say that I'm like a jawbone of an ass or nothing. I'm just saying. There's neither Jew nor Greek. There's neither bond nor free. There's neither male nor female. For you are all one in the Messiah. And if you be the Messiahs, then are you Abraham's seeds, heirs according to the promise. We all Abraham's seed. There are some that is to the flesh, and he's going to turn back to you and stop provoking you to jealousy so you can wake up and finish doing what he called you to do. But the main seed already hit the scene, and that's the Messiah. That's why there wasn't no S on seeds when it was dealing with Abraham's seed. He then came, put your trust in him. Get up off that law, Hebrew. Come on, man, and live it. Live the life. You're not under the law. Just if you're led by the Ruach, you ain't going to break it. The fulfillment of it. Yeshua is the Sabbath. Every day is the Sabbath. Hebrews, the 4th chapter, say like he is rested from his work, even so we should rest from ours. Us resting from ours is sin, living carnally. That's the Sabbath. That's the true Sabbath. All the feast days, all the festivals, all the Sabbaths, all the new moon, all of it, the clothing, all the dietary, all of it, tabernacle, I don't care what it is. It all was a shadow for you to get your act right to start obeying Yah. Can you get that? Study like that. I got to go. I'm a little late. Love y'all.